Myles Turner was spectacular in this game. He didn't get many rebounds, but he neutralized the boards, and he kept their big guy off the boards, and he was clutch all night. He punished them on the inside when they went small. He made big free throws. He made big and ones. He played huge in this game. Tyrese, fourth quarter, was monster. 18 in the fourth, made just about every play you can imagine. And, really just breathtaking stuff to watch. The building was absolutely alive. Today was another opportunity to play a playoff caliber game during the regular season, because they were loaded up. They had all their guys, and they really came to play, and we had to put together a monster game to beat them, and we did.
Rick, you talk a lot about how Tyrese is good at feeling out what this team needs and giving it to you guys in the fourth quarters. And this one, he has 6 entering the fourth and then 18 in that quarter. How impressed are you by him that he's able to, find those gaps and wait for his moment to be able to do things like that in close games?
Well, he's a basketball savant type guy, and people like him, people like Doncic, people like Reggie Miller, they sense when their time is coming, and he's resourceful, and he finds ways to help our team get the ball in the basket. Sometimes it's not him every time, sometimes it's, he makes the play that leads to the bucket or the pass that leads to the pass, but his will to win is spectacular for a young player, and he really is he's grasping everything that there is to grasp about the opportunity that he has here and the responsibility that he has here, and it's just amazing to watch him continue to grow every single game.
I feel like recently or the last couple weeks is the best this team's been playing all season?
Well, I don't think it's a stretch to say that, but we got to be careful about looking back. We got to keep our eye on the ball. We got to stay in a growth mindset and prepare for the next thing. And the next thing is going to be, a rested Toronto team that's had a rough stretch with injuries, that's going to come in here fighting their butts off. And, we got to be ready. We got to do the same thing tonight that we did tonight, and that is get the fans into the game with hard, aggressive play. And then hold the line, because these teams all come at you. They all come at you. They came at us with a great third quarter. A run in the early fourth, got down 5. We talked in the huddle about, hey, this is right where we were the other night against Cleveland. Down a few buckets. Just let's keep our heads down. Keep doing your jobs. Keep doing what we do. And we'll give ourselves a chance, and that's exactly what they did.
To keep on growth, what do you think is just different in Tyrese in fourths just in the last couple of weeks, where he's talked a lot about just conversations he's had with you guys and the staff about things he had to do better? Like, where do you think he's better in those fourth quarters than he was a few weeks ago?
It's just the experience of having the ball in those situations. He's a guy that studies film, and he makes adjustments. And his scoring has been spectacular, but it's not nearly all about his scoring. There's just so many other nuanced things that are happening that are leading to other guys having opportunities to score as well. So he's a guy that learns from experience. Some experiences are difficult. You got to take them for what they are, not worse than they are, and see the opportunity next time. And that's what he's doing. And our fans are playing an enormous part in our last 3 wins. The energy in the building, when Morse had that open 3 on the wing, I'm convinced that the energy in the building kept that ball out. And that's what home court is. In a game 7 or in a playoff series. But this experience is great for a young team, and we just got to keep growing.
Just want to go back to what you said about Myles neutralizing Zubac. What do you feel like he just did so well in that? I think Zubac had maybe 2 offensive rebounds in the first 5 or 6 minutes, and then he had 1 the rest of the game. What do you think he just did so well in the glass to keep him away from
Look,
it?
he did his job from start to finish, and because we're playing smaller, when you get a guy like that, sometimes your main job is just to keep a body on him, so that other guys can scoop up rebounds, and that's what he did all night long. I mean, and so we were able to flip the script on his contributions, but then you're looking at the other 2 superstars, so a lot coming at us tonight, and the guys kept their poise and maintained their aggression, and let the feel and the energy of the crowd carry them through, and that's what you learn in these situations, and that's what playoff basketball is all about.
Rick, I think one big difference in other games has been settling for threes, launching threes. Tonight it seemed like you guys were just living at the free throw line late and making them. Was that something deliberate? Is that something that came from that experience previously?
Yeah, and at halftime, our percentage of paint drives was not where it needed to be. And so, we were somewhere in the 50% range, and that needed to be up into the 60s. And in the second half, we did a much better job of moving it, getting it to the paint, causing problems. I mean, their defensive shell with the defenders that they have out there is as good as any in the league. And so you got to do things to try to break them down, and it's not easy.
I mean, they're the best defensive team in the league. They had a lot of high hands. I was missing some shots early. I think it was just a lack of aggression. I mean, I don't want to take away from who they are as defenders or as a team. But they got some great defenders over there. So I feel like I was just missing some shots, and so in that fourth, I knew what time it was.
How helpful is it when Myles can have a game like this and punish a team that goes small for significant stretches?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, last time we played these guys, Zubac had a great game. Whatever it was, almost 30 and 30. I think as a competitor and as a competitive team, we wanted to respond the right way. We attacked him early. We felt like we were getting after him. I think he only had 7 rebounds tonight. But, man, he's a tough guy to keep off the glass. So we were able to do that successfully, made them play small, which is to our advantage, because we still feel like we can run even with a big on the floor because MT runs so well. So, we felt like we dictated pace tonight. And usually when we dictate pace, we win games. So, that's what matters.
You talked a lot this week about how much better you've gotten as a closer, how you guys have gotten as a team. But you obviously were able to get fouled at some key points tonight, and that's something you've talked about wanting to do more. Is that where do you feel like you're getting better at that, at drawing fouls at the right times when you're trying to get to the line?
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay aggressive. I think I'm shooting 3 free throws a game. That's higher than I've ever been in my NBA career, but still not where I would want it. I think in the moment I'm thinking that, I'm not getting calls or whatever, but refs are human. They see we have great conversations. They're really approachable. So, and sometimes when I go back and watch the film, I'm like, yeah, I was complaining about nothing right there. I didn't get touched. So it comes with it, man. And down the stretch, I was just trying to stay aggressive, get into the cup, and just looking for my shot. And they're coming over and following me, allowing me to get to the free throw line where I feel like I shoot a high percentage. So just trying to stay aggressive.
Again, I know we've asked about this a lot this week about closing, but I mean, was there something more that you saw from this team tonight, I guess, as another step that you guys took in that regard to get better in that?
I mean, playing 2 of the best players in the NBA, obviously, PG felt like he was home tonight, 45, couldn't miss. But we took on that challenge. You got to figure out a way to weather that storm. In that third quarter, we fouled too much, sent them to the free throw line. They were in the bonus pretty early. We just weathered the storm the right way. Things could have went downhill after I got the tech, but we figured it out from there. And I thought everybody pitched in tonight. It was a great team effort. And the fans really helped us out tonight. They had the energy going for us all night. Even after that, kept us in the game. And allowed us to to leave with a W.
Tyrese, you spoke to Myles' effort tonight. I'm just kind of curious for you, how have you maybe seen him grow even over the course of this season, from the start of the season to now? How have you seen him grow?
I think him understanding that with this group, he's like a real vet with us. He's a guy who's played in the league a long time in comparison to everybody else here, and being able to use that wisdom the right way. I mean, when they ask like who's played in a playoff game, he's like one of the only ones who can really raise his hand. I mean, I think he has just done a great job as a leader. Using his experience, and now transitioning back to being a full-time center. Being able to execute there, where obviously the paint's been a little clogged up for him in the last couple of years. So allow him to kind of dominate down there and have space. I think he's just having fun playing basketball again.
Tyrese, Rick was talking about you guys getting this experience, playoff experience, if you will, against very good teams. Where do you think the team has benefited the most from that, closing games and doing it in front of a big crowd?
Losing. I think that's like the best teacher. I think early, like we struggled to close games earlier in the year, and I think you need that. I think a young group needs that to kind of grow the right way, and we're figuring it out every day. I think you saw from game one against Washington, like we're not going to give up. We're going to press, figure it out. Get back in the game, whatever it takes. Guys are going to play hard. So, I think now is the finding the ability to finish games, and whatever that is, wherever guys have to contribute, whether that's offensively, defensively, shot making, extra effort defensively, whatever it is, guys are figuring it out. So I think experience is the best teacher, if I'm being honest with you. And, I think we're getting that, every day in these close games. We played a lot of clutch games, in these last week or two. So I think that's really helping us.
I think it's several close games this season. You guys have missed a lot of shots late settling. Tonight, you guys were just, as a group, continuing to attack. How much has maybe that been a growth point for this entire group?
Yeah, just getting the shots we want. I think just staying aggressive when I'm driving. Teams are collapsing, so just kicking out, getting good shots. I think we're living with a lot of the shots we take down the stretch. I think that's the thing is like sometimes you gotta look at the film. In the moment, it might feel worse or better, and then you watch the film and you feel a different way about it. I wouldn't necessarily call it settling. I think that just finding what's the best shot at that moment, and I think it's just something that comes with time and growth, and we're just figuring it out.
Tyrese, what is the challenge of being aggressive, finding your own shots in close games like that while still keeping the offense running the way you guys like to run it every possession?
Yeah, I mean I've spoken on this before, but I think it's a constant question like, how do you do it? And I don't think there's a perfect way for it. I've asked a million people what's the correct way to do it. Nobody has the answer. Me and Jenny talk about Sue all the time. I've talked to Sue about it. Just like, what's the balance? Like, how do you figure it out? And it's a feel thing. It's just feeling what the team needs in that moment. Today we needed some energy. Needed a boost from me. Guys were kind of looking at me to make plays, and so I was just doing that. And I think the great thing about this team is we just, from top to bottom, whether that's the coaching staff, players, no matter what it is, we're honest with each other. I think to start that fourth, I had 6 points when I came back in, and I think, to be honest, Chris pulled me aside and was like, "Man, you got to go. You got to get going." And if he sees it, then I'm like, "Well, everybody probably sees it, So I got to respond the right way, and so that's what I was trying to do in the fourth, just being aggressive. And but it's all a feel thing. Sometimes somebody else might have it going that night. Where I got to figure out how I'm going to get them the ball, So it's just a feel thing. There's no correct answer. It's just feeling it through basketball.
I think it was a team effort. I made it a point to, make sure I hit him, was physical with him. And, I didn't really care if I got the rebound or not. Someone else was going to fly in and grab it. And, I think the results spoke for themselves. I think we had a great game plan coming into the game, and we were able to execute.
What do you have to focus on differently when you're playing a team that goes small so often like that Clippers team does?
I think the biggest thing is just not changing the pace of the way you play. Switching it is designed to make you kind of second guess what you're doing or slow up the offense. But I think we did a good job of playing our game tonight, and it made it a lot easier for us to down the stretch, just knowing what we needed to do.
Rick and Tyrese have talked a lot about how the trust level in Tyrese to make the right plays in the fourth quarter for you as his teammate. How much trust do you have in him when he's out there to make a pass, score, do whatever the team needs in those?
All the trust in the world, man. Tyrese is has proven time and time again that he can, really take over in times like that, towards the end of the game. And he's doing a phenomenal job for us. And I believe he's going to continue to do so.
Myles, I want to go back to what you said about just not caring if you got the rebound tonight and being a team effort. Is your mindset just hit Zubac first? I mean, what was kind of your game plan, your mindset of what you had to get done?
Yeah, exactly that. As long as he doesn't get the rebound, then, I've done my job. And I think a couple times in the first quarter, he got a couple loose ones, and, that was on me. But as the game continued to go, I want to continue to make sure I just got him out the way and somebody else flew in for the rebound. And, I think our guards did a phenomenal job of doing so.
We talk about Haliburton finishing, but you as well. What were you sensing? What did you feel out there from your matchup and what you could do, especially there in the post?
Well, exactly what he was saying. They went small, and in times like that, I got to assert myself a bit more. I think I did a good job of doing that, and my team put me in good positions. I was able to finish down the stretch, and I was able to get to the free throw line this game and make a lot of headway there as well.
6 wins if you do the math, right?
That's right.
Honestly, just the way we play, the guys we have here, and just the mentality we have. It's a really, really fun group who everyone from top to bottom enjoys playing with one another, and the culture here is incredible. Really fun to be a part of it.
5 wins against good teams in the last couple weeks. Do you feel like this is the best this team has played this season?
I don't know. Technically a little early. There were a lot of highs, some lows. But the good teams kind of recover. You don't let those lows kind of stack up on each other. So I think this group is showing a lot of maturity, and not letting some bad losses kind of pile up. And the coaching staff is unbelievable as well.
What impresses you about the way Tyrese is kind of able to balance aggressiveness versus not disrupting what you guys do offensively in those moments like that down the stretch?
Yeah, I think it's just a feel thing, and the great players are really good at doing that. So he's a great player, and he picks his spots, and when he finds an opening, he takes it. If not, he's trying to get people the ball, and that's what makes him special.
You and him kept talking about how you were guarding him so intensely during training camp. Do you take any credit for his surge this season?
No, absolutely none. Like I said, I feel like my job is to just kind of prepare him for, what teams are going to do in the playoffs and how they're going to guard him and try to make him uncomfortable and not just kind of let him dribble the ball and get into a rhythm. I feel like what my job is to kind of prepare him for that, because I feel like not a lot of guys play as hard as I do. So just kind of try to push him and do everything I can to just get him better.
Have you seen him evolve into becoming more assertive when he needs to be down the stretch like it was tonight?
Yeah, and all that comes with confidence. It is his 3rd year in the league, but you would never know that. But down the stretch, he's making big shots and he's figuring out when to take them and when to get to the rim or get someone the ball. The game looks like it's really, really, really slowing down for him, and it's incredible to watch. Just his development and the year he's having. I just can't put into words how great it is.
The biggest crowds we've seen all season over this homestand. You sent him into a frenzy there at the start of the 4th quarter. How much has this crowd lifted you during this homestand?
I absolutely love playing here, not only because we have a great locker room, but these fans, they're incredible. It's a really hard place to play for opponents, and we have to give our fans so much credit. The way they show up and make it a tough place to play and get behind us, and it really does rally us to win. So we can't put into words how important they are.